For this video, I don't want to make any structure, any one of these stupid shit, any one of these hooks or anything like that. I just want to talk to you like a human being to a human being and tell you what I have learned today, what really changed my life. Let's get into it. Every single Friday, me and my girlfriend are going to these religion groups. And in my opinion, we don't do anything really bad. We hold hands and we just express our romantic love to each other when we are on those religious meetings. Not in a horrible way when we go there and we kiss each other very inappropriately. No. But if we just lean back onto each other, we hug each other a little bit, I completely believe that's fine. You can imagine someone who is on the head of the pole on that religious meeting. These people said to my best friend that they needed me to stop doing what I'm doing with my girlfriend. And they told him to confront me because of this problem. But what he really messed up in giving advice to me was that I was furious at him after giving me that advice. And I analyzed and I broke down what he did wrong so I can give you some advice what you can do next when you want to give advice to other people without them being mad at you. The worst thing my friend did was he pulled me to the side with my girlfriend and he made it really dramatic. Instead of him having this fun atmosphere, having this fun vibe about himself, like he really doesn't care, he made it extremely dramatic and he made it seem like a huge problem. And that just put a fuel into the fire. Because if, for example, you are going on a hunt with your uncle, for example, and your uncle gives you a rifle and will tell you, listen, if you see a huge boar, that thing is really hard to catch. That is a prime loot that we can do. It is gonna be really hard, it is really fast, it is really quick. You, when seeing that boar, you'll be extremely shaky maybe, you'll be extremely nervous because he dramatized that boar before you even got the chance to kill that boar. But imagine if he framed it in a way that, oh, if you see a boar, it's really easy, it's very slow, if it will escape, sometimes happens, but usually it's really easy to catch. And this is not to manipulate the other person or anything, but if you just keep the vibe in a positive mood, that will probably give people a bigger chance of succeeding because they are already in a positive mindset. Imagine if you were doing a squat in the gym and your friend will tell you, keep your knees like this because you might get injured. Bro, keep it like that because you might get injured, yeah, and I don't want you to break your knees. You would, in that set, not be thinking about you squeezing hard as possible, you would be thinking about your knees. And you might not even go to failure and probably squeeze that muscle because you are constantly thinking about the thing that is about to go wrong. And this is what my friend did very, very horribly when he wanted to confront me because he made it so dramatic and it didn't have to be so dramatic and serious. If he could have just kept a funny vibe, I would never get extremely offended at him. And what is really the solution to this problem? Whenever you will try to give advice to someone, never ever ever make it so dramatic as he did. When he tried to pull us to the side, he said that, listen, I have to tell you something very important. And I have to pull you to the side. And he literally pulled out all of my friends away from us so nobody else could hear us. That made it even more dramatic and serious. And then he took us on a walk, literally me and my girlfriend and him. And that would be extremely dramatic because that makes the situation extremely serious. But if he were to keep a very nice smile on his face, very polite tone of voice, everything in my opinion would get absolutely better and I might even change my behavior. But because he framed it in such a dramatic way, I got offended instead and not really wanted to hear his advice anymore. But something then even worse happened because when he took us onto that walk, me, him and my girlfriend, then he started only talking about himself and what he wants, not what we want. And that is a horrible way how to negotiate with people and how to make anyone change their behavior. Imagine if I were to come up to you and I were to try to sell you, for example, my course, because I have an online product, and I were to try to sell you my course and I would say, listen, if you buy this course, you will give me money and I will be extremely happy. What? Nobody would buy that because there is nothing in that offer for them. And he did this exponentially well. But because he did it so well, it was a horrible way how to give advice to other people. Because he was constantly thinking about what he wants, not what we want. He was constantly saying things like, we want you to stop. We don't find this appropriate. This is objectively a wrong thing. If you think this is okay, you are arrogant. All of these words that I have just mentioned to you were said through his mouth. And would you change your behavior if someone were to say, if you think this is okay, you're objectively wrong. We want you to change this. We want you to not act like this in front of other people. And what is there for us? Nothing. Would you take that offer? Would you not get offended if the entire time the person was talking about what they can gain and not what you can gain? You would probably feel absolutely horrible in that situation, and you would never ever change your behavior, and you would get offended probably in the same situation as me. And this is what I have learned from this situation, is because you cannot give someone advice if you don't have anything for them. The only thing he did well was because he was my friend for such a long time. And when you have a friend for such a long time, you naturally want to listen to them and express your emotions further. But because even though he's my best friend, I still felt absolutely horrible after that interaction. And how can we not let this happen when you giving advice to other people? Focus onto the other person and not ever onto you. Because if, let's say, I want to change someone else's behavior in the gym, someone is doing, for example, bench press. What I will do is that I will show lots of empathy. And second of all, I will say what is the benefit for them. It might look something like this. Yo bro, how long have you been going to the gym? They will say something, for example, 3 months, because most likely when someone has a bad form, they usually are going to the gym, for example, 2 or 3 months, and they don't really know what they are doing. And when I say that, oh, I have learned this one very interesting form in the gym, would you like to hear it? Who in that situation would tell you that no, I don't want to hear it. Nobody will tell you, because everyone wants to get better at the thing that they are doing. So basically everyone will tell you that, yeah, I would like to know. And then you can start explaining. And that's also a very important thing that you can do. If someone doesn't want your advice, don't say it. If you want to give someone advice, ask first. And a lot of people do this so wrong, because instead of them listening and understanding the other person, they immediately say, you should do it like this, you should do it like this. Nobody cares, and they will even dislike you because you have done it in that way. And after I ask them a question, I ask them if they want my advice, I can actually say something that is about to benefit them. I would say in that case something like this. Oh, I have been doing this form when I keep my elbows tucked in, and it blew my chest extremely, and my pecs grew 1 inch for the past 3 months. And now this person is like, whoa, so if I use this form, my pecs might grow plus 1 inch. Okay, I want that shit. And now they are thinking about what they're gonna gain. I don't want you to deceive people. I don't want you to use deception in this moment, because if you don't have the solid proof, you have no obligation to share that advice. Nothing. Zero. So that's why I want you to first get the study and trade it on yourself, and then you can share the advice. For example, you have maybe seen a lot of people online who talk about the carnivore diet. They only eat meat, for example, and they say always that that is one of the best things that they have done. If you want to give advice to someone, don't say you should do it like this, you should do it like this, because that's the bossy, that very energy. And what do we people hate? Following direct orders. And that's why if you say, oh, it worked for me, may I share this advice with you? Would you be opposed to that? Nobody's gonna get mad at you because you say, oh, it worked for me. Would you like to hear what worked for me? You're not giving direct orders, you're just displaying empathy and telling them what worked for you. And if it is not gonna work for them, that's completely okay. And you might say that if it is not gonna work for you, then you might try a different form. And nobody's gonna get mad at you because you are sharing your own experience and not what they should do. And that's what my friend did horribly wrong in that interaction. He was only saying that we want this religion meeting to be better. We want you to stop doing this. We want you to do this. And finally, the third worst thing that he did was not specifying the problem. My friend said in that situation that he doesn't care. He just doesn't care what we do, but the only thing he cared about was giving me the message. But the thing that he cared about was giving me the message from the people above him. And they are concerned about this, not him. And when I come out of that conversation, I had a horrible taste in my mouth because he truly did not care. He was just there because someone higher sent him to me. When that happens, something really bad is about to happen, and that is my third point in this video. If you don't specify the problem, people have no idea what they should do. I have once heard this story from this one successful businessman, Alex Hormozy, his name is, and he was saying to people that become more charismatic, become more likable, bro. But what does that truly mean? You have to break down everything that the other person is doing and analyze it and tell them, this needs to be cut out and this needs to be added, and you should do this and this is what you shouldn't do. And that's how you train someone to become more charismatic, and not by telling them, start being charismatic. Because that's extremely hard. So you need to break down their behaviors and say, don't do this and do this. For example, my friend told me, stop acting this way. Okay, but I do a lot of things with my girlfriend. I hug her, I sometimes give her a kiss on her cheek, and sometimes I lean onto her. What specifically? What specifically? I need to know specifics. I cannot just say, okay, suddenly I'm not gonna touch my girlfriend and I'm gonna be a robot. That is a horrible way how to give advice. It's the same thing like I've said with the Alex Hormozy. Become more charismatic. What does that even mean? People don't even know. So the next time, what will really help you, in my opinion, if you give people specifics, that's when they will start to improve immensely well, and that's when your teachings will become memorable to other people, and that's when you will actually stand out from the rest of the crowd. And finally, this is just a small bonus, but I just wanted to add it in. These people up here said that my best friend should contact me because he knows me better than them. And you can see this is this funnel, it goes like this. And what really would make the situation much more better would be if they were to just come to me, because it is their opinion, not my best friend's. So they put their belief onto my friend and my friend said it to me. You see, the information gets really filtered through. If you say to someone that I have one day been in a forest and I have saw a really big bear, and after you say that information to 55 people and the information would just get filtered through all of these 55 people, the 56th person would get a completely different response and would get, I have been on a beach and I saw a huge boar. Because the information will just get filtered through. So that's why if you want to say something to someone, say it directly, because you know how to say it best to them. And because you got this far, I have a very special bonus for you. My name is Martin and I have been studying charisma and social skills for 3 years straight, and I am the inventor of the social yin yang. The light side is you being able to be charismatic, giving compliments to other people and listen towards their ideas and be extremely kind. But on the other hand, you have the dark side, you being able to be assertive, respected by other people, and say your opinion if needed, and never wear this stupid mask ever again to please other people. And if you are interested of becoming the most charismatic version of yourself, coming into a room and everyone shaking hands with you almost immediately, click the first link in the description. You'll also get access to 30+ hours of courses made by me about charisma and communication. You'll get access to a full community of people who are just like you, who want to improve their social skills and charisma. And finally, you'll get access to a one-on-one coaching with me. So if you are interested in that, click the first link in the description. And if you are not ready yet, click the second link in the description and I will hop on you onto a 30-minute one-on-one call where I will personally help you improve your charisma. And if you want to see 7 of the most brutal truths about charisma that nobody talks about, you should click this video right here. Live a happy life.